Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about communication, and there's a difference between communications and gender. Gender is basically the focus of between boys and girls gender. Communication is the way how we interact with others. So I'm here to share what I wrote and how to apply these concepts in this real world. Definitely. Sorry, I'm just paying attention to my screen, I'm not looking at you guys. But here we go. Let's get started. So let's talk about agenda setting. So agenda setting is basically a place where it's taken in public, community, different areas, how we interact with people, right? So this is the sample that I typed in. Agenda setting is news that we see in the world. It gives us perspective of the media world. Politics is a sample of going on with the world, especially this generation, right? What's happening with our daily lives, especially like we don't know what's going on. Like maybe there's a war going on, we're all shocked. We think that maybe inflation's happening, everyone's like reacting to it. So that's communication. And part of that is a community, it's a community that form and bond together to like vote for presidential or make a change in the community, right? In public places. So it definitely does bring the image of gender communication sexes in our lives, parents, family, friends. Our biological echo sex tells who we are too, and it motivates consumption as a gendered and good for resources getting support of help from others, right? So this is a great thing to know and kind of pay attention around your surroundings. Definitely apply these concepts in the real world. Also, we also social networking too. Social networking is kind of like you go on social media, the way how you talk to people, the way how you present yourself to other people, right? So it's a really strong communication because I think that everyone's trying to find friendship. They're finding a way how to communicate better. I think that we're all trying to communicate better, basically, with anyone in your life, basically. And culture can do this too. People around the states connect to build friendship and to build career jobs. This is true because the surroundings you're trying to interact people and you're trying to network with people. This is part of communication in life. As a stereotype of racism also built this connection with religious too. It allows us to share information. Basically, you're sharing information with someone next to you or someone that's bringing back information to you that you should know. Follow job policy. It could be like a friend giving you information. It could be like emergency shelter support. It could be like strategy, resources of living conditions. Basically, if you're kind of struggling homeless, then the way how you communicate is find resources, right? So this is, I think that part of communication is really broad. It's really top. It's like a great topic to talk about because everyone's trying to communicate better. I think that we all like kind of like how to say this, kind of put it as a perspective. Like we think that we know better, but we don't. But it's better to learn how to communicate better, and this is a great tool. Especially this kind of tool is good for public speaking. If you're a public speaker too, this is a great way to communicate better and definitely learn better from others too. And you can also like communicate better with your professors too. So this is a great strategy to look at. The way how I wrote it. It makes sense to me, and I feel like we all can relate to the way how I communicate and the way how I communicate to you guys right now. It's definitely the way how I talk to you guys about this video. It's a part of communication. So everything's happening through media. Everything's happening through your friends, how you communicate in school or your coworkers at work, part of that, it's an activism movement, right? And equality for people community, both gender respect, organization support, both gender, racism, culture, opposite sex, too. Questions I would like to answer is women stereotypically and men stereotypically. First, for example, women is being women because the sexual the way how they shop, how they groom, how they look. Women, the way how they dress, how they talk is really important. And the men want to feel powerful because basically men want to show how manly they are in communicating, saying that I'm strong, I got this, bro, like the way how they talk. Both men and female general act the way they are because of sexes and their sex organs is fine who they are too, especially. This is a really great knowledge. I feel like this is hopefully changes your mindset and look at this as a mental health and how to make it better. I think that we all struggle like opening to people, and part of communication is like you have to relax, communicate better, and it takes time to adjust and to learn. Definitely take the tools. There's a lot you can learn in the research on Google. Type in communication 360 on Quizlet because you learned a lot if you go on comms 360 because I took this class at college. It was really interesting. I never talked about communication. I feel like I should talk about it now. In the other past previous year, I was kind of reflecting to gender more. But yeah, this is a really good um basically terms to look at, like sex versus gender. Sex is biological. Gender is socially constructed an idea. Gender is a continuum, not male or female. Spectrum range. So basically, communication does focus on gender, and they focus on the communication side of it too. But yeah. And then our sexual orientation is basically how you represent yourself, the way how you dress, the way how you design your clothes, the way how you wear, the way how you express yourself too. Um, what else? Let's see. Psychological approaches focus on early childhood development. Basically, we're talking about your childhood life, how you communicate, and the way how you're born, and the way how you talk. Like you ask a question, am I a boy, am I a girl? So these are questions, and we also look at the behaviors, the way how you present yourself too. Behavioral, what I mean by that is basically like, oh, the way how like a guy, like a little boy reacts, like I'm really like tough on my parents. I'm really like intense, I guess the word intense, that's what I mean. And then girls are more gentle, the way how they talk to their parents. It's true, right? Guys are more aggressive, like they want their toys, they want to play the Hot Wheels toys, like the car. And girls play really calm with their Barbie dolls too. So yeah. Um, there's a lot you could like definitely put it in perspective and look at it. The way how I perceive things is basically I'll read the terms, like what it means, and I kind of put it in my own words and try to like understand it, put it in a perspective way because like you will look at it as a different way later on. Looking at this too, especially. Um, Verbal play. Verbal play is basically means language is a place of play. It's a sample of women playing with mistress and lay as verbs. So verbal play is kind of like girls play with girls. They vibe really well with each other. That's women group, I guess you could say that. That's what it means. Gender performativity. It's stylized repetition of acts doing gender. Basically, gender performative means like a girl can basically act like a guy, like hey, like with a deep voice. And then guys can sound like a little girl, like hey, like like a cartoon. Sorry, I'm laughing. Um, but yeah, yeah, and then body shaming is a good one too. I talked about my other field way back. We're talking about like how you judge someone's body parts, like organs. For example, you might interpret like how a female body can have like a guy body, for example. That's transgender right there. And then you look at a male body where they can have females body parts too. Like he could have boobs, for example. It's I know it's like kind of weird talking about this, but it's really important because the way how we judge someone by body shaming is really important, and you don't want to mistreat the wrong way how you judge someone. You always want to look at it as perceptions and perspective view, especially. Yeah. Yeah. I hope you guys learned something and definitely do some research on communication 360. There's a lot of terms you can actually learn and apply these concepts, and I hope you guys learned something. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.